Howdy folks. So this video is going to cover different groupings of moves in vertical versus vertical atomics, right? You can kind of put your moves together into different families. So we'll go over the different kinds of ways that I like to group them in my head, which is good for dynamics, right? This is the weave family, and these moves, while different, have a similar aesthetic. And then from the weave family, you can go into, a different family of moves and get a different aesthetic that way. And then back into this one or into a new one. Different aesthetic again, even though I'm doing like several different moves, technically, each one of these you could call a different move. So let's get started. Hey. So the first thing I think that we'll start with, the first family, is the weave family. It's kind of like the first thing that everyone tends to learn, right? And so with everything that we talk about, there's the two versions. There's the inside the box going in the same direction and the outside the box going in the same direction, right? If this is forward, outside the box, then I'll have an inside the box lateral polarity on both sides. And if this is forward, inside the box, then I'll have the valley mode or outside the box on the lateral polarities. So there's two different versions of every move that we talk about. I will start with just your buzzsaw atom, right? That's your good foundation for weaves, right? You can call that your zero. So take a buzzsaw and bend one of the edges of the orbit. I'm going to bend this close edge out, boom, and you've got your atomic buzzsaw like this. And then you can do 2 beats with each hand to bring it out and around. So you have a buzzsaw and you have your outside, and then you have switch in between the two. Oh, look, we're already getting a bunch of moves in this family. You can take one, put it to in swing, and then bring it to the other side and let one of the poi in swing while the other one goes around. So I'll do this from the side. You just switch which one's in swinging. So my right hand is on the inside, my left hand is on the inside. Right, left, right, left. So from the front, right, left, right, left. That's that one. Boom. So what I've been demonstrating is all standing inside the box, looking down at a corner, mountain mode, rotated forward. Let's go to valley mode now. You bring it down, bring your hands together. This is done by bending the outside edge of your buzzsaw out. Yep. And bringing your hands together. And that gives you this one. And now, if we tried to do the same 2-beat thing, we're going to either have to move our hands way over here to get it out, like get it so it's vertical. You got like this. Or we can cross our arms, boom, and put that nexus in front of our hands. Now I can bring one through the center. The one that's on the bottom, I can bring it through the center. Like this, switching each side. I can go out and around, through the center, around, through the center, out and around. These are all just weaves, right? And then I can do the turn stuff. So this is your like intro version to the other side. Not Coleman repeated. All of these have a turn and a reverse. So everything I just demonstrated from the front, you could do in the reverse version. There's a billion different things. Let's touch on turns because it's associated with the weave family, because it's part of it when you're doing things like the intro version, like this, boom. That intro version, I can choose to go back to the front at this point here, back to the front, back to the front, or I can use that moment to turn around and get into my reverse. So turning between weaves gives you this kind of lateral polarity or wall plane feeling stuff. So that's your like wavy weave, right? So now you have your wall plane feeling stuff. You can do flowers. This is like the anti-spin, wavy weave, and then the in-spin version like that. So you can kind of think of these as wall plane flowers. And so that's and then, make it weird by adding an intro version at the top. Oh shit, shorten them up. Adding an intro version at the top or the bottom, boom, like so. If I do these flowers facing the other side, so what I was doing is lateral polarity, and I'm turning them into flowers like this. You can also do that in the weave side too, and make flowers this way. Just like opposite direction flowers. So speaking of flowers, there's different kinds of flowers. I just showed the one that's with your diagonal facing the camera. You can also do it where your flower is an exploded atom, right? Like, so this is just your atom, your hands together, your chest becomes the center of rotation, and let's go this way. So this is the anti-spin version. This would just be the giant atom, right? Extending it. So this is like your macro atom. You can do all of your flower stuff that you normally do, hybrids and shit. So anything you can do as a 2D flower, you can do as a 3D flower, right? Any hybrid, anything like that. The thing to keep in mind is that the way you face the atom or the way you present it will determine how it looks. So from this angle, it kind of looks like same time, same direction. I mean, same time, opposite direction. But if I take this and rotate it 90 degrees, same flower, looks like same time, same direction. So with these exploded atomic flowers, you get 2 different appearances per flower. I mean, 3 if you want to count this one, right? You can do all these as 360s or 180s, just like your other flowers. You can do them however you want, same stuff, right? So that's one family. The other family kind of fits into that when we present it with one as wall plane and one as wheel plane. We can make that wheel plane to stay in plane with those exploded ones, or we can use the center of rotation moving orthogonally to the plane and create helical patterns. So like here's an hourglass, right? Boom. Scoop, line, scoop, line, scoop, line, scoop, line. So there's a helical shape. I could also make a diamond by doing the anti-spin feeling one. Point, 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 point. So then I could take those and hybridize them with wall plane flowers. Let's see if I can, boom, diamond versus box mode wall plane flower. Helical diamond versus box mode wall plane flower. There's in-spin versions. So this is a hourglass versus a 2-petal in-spin. Oh, there we go. So there's an entire family of moves like that. See if I can do Kyle. Kyle Ford has this one's tough, man. Boom, it's a, that 3x3 triquetra versus a 3-pointed helix. That one is awesome when it's executed cleanly. But that's a whole family of moves that you can explore. So that's the flowers. Oh yeah, okay, pendulum stuff. So just a pendulum versus hybrid, right? You can aim it straight at the camera. Boom. Do things like that. You can do switches. Any kind of weird shit you can think of. Oh shit. Boom. Yeah, do whatever you want with these. You can come up with stuff, right? All of your 1.5 stuff you can do. And this one works real well if you aim it with your 45. Like that. Or you can do the wavy 1.5. And that's just the hands together version. So there's a bunch of stuff you could do, just pendulums versus, you know, anything you wanted. Weaves. So that's a whole family of moves. And then under the leg stuff. So you can think of under the leg stuff. There's under the leg stuff is fun and interesting because these angles provide for some weird stuff. there's also two ways to approach it. So you have your, you know, kind of in the wheel plane, you're under the leg weaves and stuff. And then you have your step through stuff, like your wall plane stuff. So when you're doing vertical, you have one is a step through wall plane thing, and then the other one is your wheel plane thing, depending on how you face it. You know, you can turn 45 degrees each time and make a pattern that's like wall step. So same kind of thing. You can come up with a million different variations of this stuff. Oh yeah, and then any of that you can do as a tracer. So like we were talking about with the mountain, this is mountain mode, right? Valley mode is different. Ooh, sorry, that was valley mode. Mountain mode is different because of the way the pulley interacts with your body. You have to move differently. So you can take those flowers and make them linear, and that makes tracing flowers much easier rather than trying to extend them out like that. You can also do that like one orthogonal and one as a body tracer. You can do your tracers so that you're aimed 45 from the camera, which is fun because it feels like they're around you, you know, because you're kind of standing inside the box. That analogy. Air wraps are atomic. Vertical versus vertical atomic. Just exaggerate it, right? So you can do air wraps to change between valley and mountain mode. Each time it switches like that. Oh, to that. But I think I've gotten off topic now. I hope that was a cool kind of conceptual overview of different ways that you can think of vertical versus vertical and explore some moves that have the planes oriented that way. Have fun.